Well, we got to figure out the Nine Inch Nails thing.
Oh.
I know that he has said this sort of thing before, particularly in 2009. But the last, a couple shows ago, he gave like a heartfelt speech to the crowd and said that this will probably be the last Nine Inch Nails tour.
Yeah, but he also said that like 2 years ago.
It's the same tour, though.
No. Before this tour happened, he was like, I'm done touring. Yeah. I might only do a festival because I want to be with my kids.
Right. But
then he did this big tour, and you're like, dude, I don't think he's gonna be one of these annoying assholes that retires a billion times and then comes back.
Maybe.
I mean, he already is.
Maybe. But, so there's two big differences between this and other times that he has said it. The first being he is 60 now.
Yeah, but like I said, he literally said it before right before this tour, and then announced a tour.
Yeah, I know. I do remember that. I'm pretty sure he was referring to like the time after this tour.
No, because it was before the tour was announced, and he made a big deal that we're not touring anymore. He's like, we'll do festivals. So we have these festivals planned, but that's it.
Oh,
he literally was like, that's it. We got these festivals, and I'm done because I want to be with my kids, and I don't want to be traveling. And then like 4 months later, tour. We're planning a tour.
So the other difference, and this is actually, to me, the bigger difference is that, other times that he has said that he doesn't want to tour anymore, it's always been a more negative thing. It's always kind of been like, I'm tired, I'm missing life with my family, life on the road sucks, and I just don't want to do it anymore. This time it was a lot more like, I feel satisfied in what we've done.
Yeah, I've heard him say that.
And to me, that is often a bigger signal that something actually is ending.
Yeah, but he's the type of person that he's going to be satisfied for, 5 years?
Yeah, but then he'll be 65.
Yeah, but so lots of people have toured longer. That the Rolling Stones toured until how long?
I don't think I want to see Nine Inch Nails at Rolling Stones level.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, so I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But point being, we got to go to the show, even if we don't have the world's best seats.
Yeah, the way the tour set up, there isn't really bad seats.
That's what
because everything's projected around the screen anyways.
But still.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to Streaming Screams. I am Glenn. I'm here with Jessica.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about some horror, and today we are talking about Bring Her Back. Released in 2025, written by Danny Philippou and Bill Heinzman. Directed by Danny Philippou and Michael Philippou. Starring Billy Barrett, Sora Wong, Jonah Warren Phillips, and Sally Hawkins. Before we get started really talking about it, happy birthday to us! Or happy anniversary to us.
What? It's not my birthday.
This is our second anniversary doing this podcast. It does not feel like it's been that long. Simultaneously, it feels like it's been forever. Much like everything.
Yeah,
today.
but also technically the first episode that we recorded was like a year before we consistently started recording.
I know. So, do you want to reflect for a minute on our 2 years as podcasters? Has it been everything you've dreamed?
Sure. I don't know what you want me to say.
I don't know. I was just pulling shit out of my ass. So.
Watched some movies, talked about some movies.
Yep. Let people hear us doing that.
The 12 people.
That's more than that. More than that. Yeah. So, what are your initial thoughts on Bring Her Back?
Oh, I love this movie. Yeah.
Expand on that, please.
Well, I like both. I like Talk to Me and this. I originally said I thought I liked this one better. Now I'm not sure. I think they're equal. They're just kind of different.
They are very different movies.
Yeah.
Despite both managing to... Yeah, I think they're both excellent.
Grief, both depressing, but in different ways.
Yeah.
But no, I think they do a really good job. I like all the characters in this. Like, the main lady, I fucking hate instantly. She drives me nuts.
Laura?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like instantly, I'm like, I hate this person.
Yeah.
And I know she's like supposed to be sympathetic and stuff, but
She's not supposed to be sympathetic.
yeah, she is.
She's the villain.
She's just, villains can be sympathetic.
Yeah, but she's a dick.
Yeah, but her daughter's dead.
I don't care if her daughter's dead.
Yeah, see, a lot of people find, like, I find elements of her problem, like why she's doing this sympathetic, but not like just destroying like multiple people's lives.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I understand that she's grieving, and believe me, I 100% sympathize with that. I 100% sympathize with the grieving mom in particular.
Yeah.
You know, I have personal experience with this.
Yeah.
I fucking get it. But at the moment where she starts abusing other children
Yeah.
who are grieving themselves.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, most serial killers have sympathetic backstories. It doesn't make what they do okay.
Right.
The moment you decide to hurt someone else, you do lose sympathy.
Sure.
But
she
is supposed to be a sympathetic character.
I get that, and I do have some sympathies for her, but it's just like by the time we get to her backstory,
Yeah.
she has already creeped me out. She is she's already shown bad intentions.
Yeah, which I guess we could talk more about later, but
Yeah.
it makes me wonder how good of a social worker she actually was beforehand. Because I don't think people who do really awful things, it's just brought up out of them because of awful situations. It means you already had it in you.
Possibly, yeah. So I will say, I think you and I both have pretty strong stomachs. Obviously.
Yeah.
So I really don't say this lightly. I found this movie to be extremely disturbing. I found it very stressful, and I'm going to be honest, I had a real hard time with my second watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like, you know, when we saw it initially in the theater, it was like riveting.
Oh, but we had those phone people. This is when I got in that shouting match with those people.
Yeah. No, I remember.
Though I moved on, like, because Craven and you both have a hard time letting things go, like when shit happens.
I just got between you guys when it looked like he was going to throw
but that was
down.
after the movie. But there's been other circumstances. You're like, I'm having a hard time watching the movie because now I'm all pissed off because this thing happened. I'm like, I already moved on.
Oh yeah, no.
I even moved on from that. They approached us.
No.
I was never going to confront them.
Once you get me angry, I have to cool down.
Yeah,
I need time.
Just not to allude to somebody like was like using their phone like and just like texting in front of us, and we're just like, put down your phone.
And then they turned on the flashlight on their phone.
And then they kept using it, and I went over there, and I was like, if you don't turn off your phone, I'm gonna go get someone. And they basically were just like, fuck you. And then they did put their phone down. And then after the movie, they came and like confronted us, and it turned into a big screaming match to where a guy literally like balled his fist up at me.
Yes, that's the point where
I wasn't gonna attack them. I wasn't even gonna. I was even like, I multiple times was like, what are you doing?
No, I know.
Go away. What are you doing? I felt bad for actually the workers that were coming to clean the theater because they're all just like teenagers or 20-year-olds. Yeah, they were just against the wall, and I'm like, these poor kids.
To be fair, though, they were blocking our access to the exit. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I was like, what are you guys doing? And they hated how they were trying to be like, we're old. And I'm like, you guys are like 60.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, that dude, the
common courtesy has nothing to do. I thought older people were so much more courteous than younger people. No, I'm just saying that's what they always say.
I know that's
and I'm like,
what's
so don't
always said,
say,
but...
we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Anyways,
no, get the fuck out of here. You came up in a time where people were silent in the theater. Like, don't give me this shit. Yeah. I remember those days. I miss those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, Craven had our time the first time because of that. It's just like now he's like angry, and I'm like, I move on because I want to watch the movie. I can do that.
Yeah.
There's several movies we've seen where you and Craven have been like, I had a hard time watching the movie because of something that happened in the beginning.
It was only Terrifier 2 or no, Terrifier 3 and
this fucking kids.
The fucking kids. And it wasn't, and I didn't have a hard time watching the whole movie. Just after like 10 minutes minutes, I realized that I was still heated.
Yeah.
and I just like got up and stood by the exit for a minute, just to like change my field of view so I could get out of that physical space, because that helped me get out of that headspace. And I was fine after that. I
can get heated and then just let it go.
Yeah, no, I mean, god damn, that was so, I mean, also with the kids, I was also kind of amped up because while I was irritated, while I was mad, as you know, I found it very funny and fun to yell at them real quick.
Yeah. It also is funny. So also for context, when we saw Terrifier 3, some like pre-teens, like early teenagers snuck in.
They were like mid-teens. They were like 14, 15, 16.
They were like different ages. Like,
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. When you say pre-teens, that's like 10.
It was like 11, 12.
Yeah.
That is a preteen, not 10. I wouldn't say 10 is 11, 12, but 10's close enough.
Yeah.
Double digits. Either way, it doesn't matter. Well, it's also hard to tell ages. Who knows? They didn't look 16, 17 to me.
No, I was saying 14 to 16.
Yeah. So anyways, but they snuck in and one were talking through the whole thing, but then they were like freaking out and like covering their face with their shirts. One of them was like kicking his feet in the air. So that's what was like, and they were right in front of us.
So for further God, I do not know how much of this is going to stay in the edit. For further context, one of them started texting, and I yell. I mean, I didn't like yell. I did that like loud, quiet talk thing, like, and I just said, hey, put down your fucking phone.
Yeah.
And then the guy's friend tried to turn around and explain it to me.
No.
And I was like, I don't give a shit. Turn your ass around. Watch the fucking movie. And and the thing is, it's like, yes, there was some anger there, but also there was kind of an exhilaration of yelling at some kids during a movie.
It also was funny because they freaked out and left pretty early, like from the movie.
Okay.
I'm like, are you serious?
So I'll tell the rest of this. After about 10, 15 minutes, whatever, I realized that I was still heated and it was like affecting my enjoyment of the movie. And I didn't like super go off on them or anything.
No.
But sometimes when I get angry, I need to at least change my environment a little bit, and it helps me cool off.
Remove yourself from the situation.
Right. So it was like 10, 15 minutes. There weren't really any further incidents other than some general fidgeting and shit. And I went and
There's one kid that literally ended up with his shirt just over his head for the rest of the time they were there.
Yeah.
He could not handle it.
Which is very funny. Yeah. You know, that whole thing where people are like, people walked out and were fainting and shit. I'm like, you know, it's usually bullshit, but this pushed that line a little bit. So
I've been in movies where people walk out.
I go and I stand by the exit, just and I'm still watching the movie. Like, I didn't leave the theater.
Yeah.
But I just changed my point of view for a little bit, stood up, stretched my legs. Also, my knee was fucking with me.
Yeah.
So and then all of these kids come walking out, and one by one, every last one of them said something to me, not about me yelling at them or anything. It was things like, this is so fucked up. And like, why the fuck would anybody watch this?
That's funny.
And like, they were all just horrified at what was happening. Dude, this is some sick shit.
Yeah.
It is so funny. And that absolutely made my theater going I really prefer just a silent theater and all that.
Not silent. Like, you react to the movie, but
yeah.
not talking through it, not on your phone. Like,
gasps, laughs, an actually earned scream. Great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the having them all walk by me and just all be like, what is wrong with people who watch this stuff?
Yeah.
Was so funny. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And weirdly gratifying. In this like, I just watched it happen.
Is that the first time you saw somebody walk out?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But it was
I mean, because of like a horror movie being too much.
No, not at all. I've
when I saw the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, people walked out during that
The tree scene? Yeah, absolutely.
Which made it more awesome.
Dude, that whole scene bothered me so much.
It's supposed to.
I know. He did a really good job. I don't ever want to watch it again, though.
I saw it in the theater twice.
Oh, yeah. No,
I think it was the first movie I saw in the theater twice.
No, it was the rape in that scene that really did it for me. And I'm pretty sure I watched the unrated version.
Yeah.
Not the rated version, so I don't know if there was full on rape in that scene during the theater, but in the unrated version, there absolutely is.
You want to hear a fun fact about that movie?
What's that?
In that scene, they had a really hard time filming with the baby because the baby kept laughing and grabbing at the gun and like had no idea what was going on and was just having a good time.
That kid's gonna turn into a gun nut.
And they're just like, the baby doesn't need to necessarily be like screaming, crying, but it can't be like smiling and like grabbing at stuff.
Right.
And they're like, it wasn't afraid of the actors. It wasn't afraid. It was just like, and they're like, this is a problem. But really quick PSA, because I also went to Paranormal Activity, the play, the other day, which is excellent. Everyone should see it. But my sister was sitting next to people that also were talking through the entire thing.
Oh, God.
Don't go to live events if you just want to talk through the whole thing. I don't understand people going to movies, plays, or whatever, and wanting to talk or be on their fucking phone. Stay home. Well, a play's harder, but movies, they're on streaming so fast now.
Yeah.
Stop ruining it for everyone else.
Yeah.
You are in a public area. Like, it's meant to like sit and watch something, not have a conversation.
Yes.
Just stop it.
Oh, man.
I was glad when we were at the play, I could barely hear the people talking next to my sister, but every once in a while I kept looking over like...
Man, we are so fucking far off of Bring Her Back. All right.
Anyways.
Reining this back in because I don't have a lot of time to edit this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found this movie incredibly fucking disturbing.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of being on your phone, like I was saying, it was really hard for me to watch the second time because I knew what was coming and I was no less disturbed for seeing it a second time.
Yeah.
So there were so many times where I would just like find myself like scrolling on Facebook and like knowing that I am deliberately avoiding watching the movie at this point. You know. And I had to keep putting my phone down and like being like, no, turn it off.
Yeah.
Do your job as a movie review podcaster. It is so disturbing and so fucked up.
Yeah. All the acting in this is amazing too. So that like
the acting is really good. Dude, I'm sure you know this. What's her name? Sora Wong,
their first movie.
Visually impaired girl. Yeah, not just her first movie. She had no experience acting at all.
Yeah.
And she did great.
I really like, too, how they, like, show her perspective.
Yes.
They let you give you a real feel for how she's, like, perceiving things.
Yeah, they give you a really good they give you a really good window in her life. I really like that they included that she plays goalball, which is a for folks who don't know, is a team sport specifically for blind people.
Yeah.
And it's actually fun to watch a lot of the time. I've seen a number of matches. It's cool. You want to get into spoilers?
Sure. Yeah.
Or did you have anything else you want to say about the movie before we get into it?
That's great. Check it out. I mean, I know we'll go over that usually at the end, but you do have to be okay with kids stuff. Like, there's violence towards children in this.
A lot of violence towards children.
Yeah, and there's not a lot. I don't say there's not a lot of scenes, but no, when it comes to the kid being possessed, there's a lot. It's graphic. There's 2 scenes in particular, but it's pretty graphic, so you have to be okay with kids stuff.
At the end of the day, this movie really comes down to 3 things, and we are fully in spoilers here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this movie comes down to being about 3 things: grief, child abuse, and how fucked up the foster system is.
Yeah.
Which... What I gathered from this movie is that it's just as bad in Australia as it is here.
I think it is everywhere.
Yeah. Nobody gives everybody wants to act like they care a lot about kids, but like once they need some help from society's like, fuck them.
Yeah.
We don't need to fund these programs. We don't need to provide government funding for adoption agencies that will actually like do solid research or, you know, look into the people that they're giving the kids to.
Yeah, because one thing I'm not clear about, because it doesn't really matter, is it Danny? What's the main kid's name?
Andy.
Andy. Is Andy the biological son of the dad who dies, or is he also adopted?
Oh, yeah, he's the biological son.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure if they were both adopted at separate times or if he was a biological kid and then they adopted another. I don't feel like they spell it out.
Oh, they do. We don't ever find out what happens to Andy's mom.
Yeah.
And we don't find out what happens to Piper's dad, but they were step siblings. So we actually don't find out what happens to her mom either.
Yeah.
But Andy's dad married Piper's mom.
Right.
And then ended up adopting her, presumably when her mom died. Or maybe just when they got married.
Yeah, because the guy adopted Lucian.
Yeah. Point being...
it's because you don't have, like, certain parental rights as a step-parent. You're not a real parent.
Right.
So you have to adopt them if you want legal parental rights.
Sure. But yeah, so they are they are full step siblings.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Billy Barrett plays Andy, who is like this fucking traumatized ass 17-year-old kid who is... trying to take care of his sister while dealing with copious amounts of trauma and guilt.
Yeah.
Sora Wong is Piper, who is Andy's visually impaired younger stepsister, who is also really struggling socially.
Yeah.
And who plays Goldball, which it is interesting because at the beginning they show her struggling they show her really struggling socially. But then later on, it does seem like she's at least friends with her Goldball team. But
yeah, but when you're like that age, if they don't go to school with her, that's
true.
probably the only time you see them.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have the mobility to go around on your own. So if they're not actually in your school.
Then we have Sally Hawkins as Laura, a grieving mother, and Andy and Piper's foster parent. Jonah Wren Phillips as Oliver / Connor Bird, Laura's foster son. Yeah.
No, he's not a foster son. He's presented as
he's presented as a nephew.
Yes, he's presented as a nephew.
Yeah, and then Sally Ann Upton as Wendy, Andy and Piper's social worker, who I don't think does a bang up job in some.
But I think she cares.
She cares. She tries.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people in the system care, but they only have so many resources.
Yes.
That's the problem, is the system, like, there's a system holding them back.
Yeah.
But she seems like she genuinely cares.
She does, but like absolutely everybody else in this movie, she thoroughly fails Andy.
Yeah.
And
because he's labeled as a troubled kid. Thanks for joining us here at the Streaming Screams podcast. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube at Streaming Screams Pod.
You can also find us on TikTok and Blue Sky at Screams Pod.
Every follow, like, thumb, rating, review, subscription, and share all help us out a lot with all the algorithm shit.
So if you like what we're doing, please rate us wherever you get your podcasts, like our posts, you know, all that other good internet bullshit. And again, thank you for listening to
the Streaming Screams podcast.
So I really did want to talk about Andy's character because he is just this amazingly brutally tragic figure.
Yeah, because also the reason he's labeled a troubled kid to me is such bullshit.
It is.
Because even if they weren't like step siblings, so he hit his sister when he was 8 and she was a baby. It's like, that's not unusual. And he's like, it's because of jealousy.
Right.
And I'm like, that is not unusual. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're a violent, troubled person. And the fact that he's 17 now and nothing else has happened, I just, it sucks that that's just like forever is what everyone thinks about him. Something he did when he was 8 years old.
Well,
and
also,
to think that they were probably newly like step siblings.
He says they were new step
so it's
siblings.
like, that's not it's not crazy. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, but it does. I think that's crazy to just make that the hallmark of like how you think of a kid.
Right. And so specifically, it's not just, he doesn't just like hit her out of nowhere or actually even out of jealousy. Once his dad married her mom, his dad became very violently abusive towards Andy. And they don't like directly spell this out, but it was clear. My interpretation from the conversations that surrounded this are that as an 8-year-old, the big connection that he is making is that this girl has come into his life and now his dad has started beating him. And so she's connected to that. Yeah. And that's where he takes his anger out because his dad it's apparently really brutal.
Yeah.
He waits until Piper is not there, or if she is there, he takes Andy into the shower, turns the shower on, makes a bunch of noise so that nobody hears him beating the shit out of Andy.
Yeah. Which I gotta say is a real world thing that I don't understand beating kids in general, but it's weird to me, like abusers, how sometimes they can have like multiple kids and they just decide, fuck this one.
It's weirdly common.
I know, but I'm just like, I just can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
I'm like, to me, like, again, it's wrong to be abusive to kids, period, but it's like, you're either an abuser or not. It's just weird to just take out all your aggression on one kid. And then they usually fawn over the other kids.
Right.
And it's like, there's usually no reason that they choose someone. It's not they were a bad kid. It's just, they just somehow decide, like, fuck you.
Yeah. So then, after all of this abuse and shit, they find the dad had cancer.
Yeah.
And they eventually find him in the shower dead. I forget whether it was social workers or EMTs or whoever was talking to them. Their immediate reaction towards both of these kids is kind of grilling Piper on whether Andy helped her.
Yeah.
And like he just came into the shower to find his dad dead. And I mean, he was suspecting that there was something wrong.
Yeah.
So it's not like he, just walked into the room. But point being, he did just find his dad dead. And everybody's like, well, he should have helped his sister.
Yeah.
And
because she obviously tried to give him CPR and he didn't.
Sure. But, he's clearly in shock.
Yeah. A lot of people, even without abuse or anything, when stuff like that happens with someone close, because, he listened to like true crime and like 911 calls.
Yeah.
A lot of people are unable to do like CPR or like, because they don't want to touch them or be near them when they're dying.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
It fucks them up. So it's not.
There's an instinctual.
It's not that unusual.
There's an instinctual revulsion. Yeah. Which you can't logic your way out of shock.
Well, apparently this came from a real life situation.
I'm sure it did.
In the movie, specifically the having to give CPR when somebody's thrown up. Yeah. And they said that like the smell is what like stuck with them.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So then after this grilling, the social worker, Wendy, still basically treats Andy as an afterthought.
Well, because she didn't want him there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about this. One, Andy has gotten this really unfair label as a troubled kid, but also the sister is younger, blind, and a girl. Yeah. So everybody is real quick to just shove Andy to the side.
And he's almost of age.
Right. And so they're real quick to just shove him aside and be like, don't worry about him. We got to take care of her.
Yeah.
And then he ends up being, even though Piper is the real target of the plot of the movie, he is the one that gets the vast majority of Laura's abuses and manipulations.
Yeah.
And torment. And then she kills him, And like, it is awful to me. This is one of the things that really, I think, made me uncomfortable on the second time, knowing that he dies. Yeah. Because it really hammers home that Andy, other than the incident when he was 8, has thoroughly been taken. Well, no, he's not just written off. He is actively mistreated by most people.
Yeah, but I mean, by the system, he's written off as like he's not reliable. He's just a troublemaker. Nobody's going to listen. That's what I mean.
But he is always doing his best to take care of his sister, even if he doesn't always do the right thing. Yeah. But he's always trying. He is very much the good guy throughout the whole movie. Yeah. And he never gets a break. Nobody
for in his second at the end.
When?
Because the other social worker is like, all right, I'm going to go fuck. I'm saying for a second, somebody takes
literally,
him seriously.
It's like literally 30 seconds before, where the social worker like realizes that he's telling the truth. Yeah. And then they're both killed. Yeah. It is brutal, and it's so tragic because other than that 30 seconds, there is not a moment in this, either the movie or in his life, that we hear about up to this point where this kid catches a break. Nobody helps him. Yeah. Nobody cares for him. He spends all of his time trying to help his sister and lifting weights, and that's his entire life.
Yeah.
And it is brutal.
Yeah.
It is fucking brutal.
Well, part of the lifting weights thing, too, is because he's being drugged.
Yes, he is being drugged through the creatine, but it is his way of dealing with his own emotions.
Oh, sure, but I think also because he's being drugged, he's doing it even more than he probably normally would.
Yeah.
And, he doesn't really have anything else to do. So.
Yeah. I saw some division and debate about this online.
Did she kill the dad?
Do you think she did?
Yes, I do, because she would, since she worked in the social care system.
So by she, we're talking about Laura.
Laura, because there's a point when Andy ends up in the hospital, and when he's like still out of it, she says to him, "I killed your dad." And so like he freaks out because she's trying again to seed all this doubt in him and make him look crazy. Yeah. But it could just be her saying it to make him freak out. I think she likely did, because she knew about Piper and she wanted Piper specifically.
Yes. So they do establish
because
that,
her daughter who had died was also blind.
Right. And they established, so she is trying to bring her daughter back and put her in Piper's body.
Yeah.
And they established that, one, there is basically a timetable here. She only has a couple of months to do this. They established that the new host body needs to be similar to the previous host body.
Well, all of this, too, is just theoretical. She just has a tape that doesn't actually break anything down. She's making assumptions.
Oh, no, they say it on the tape.
No, she's just... No, you can watch the video, just the video online.
Oh, yeah,
They don't say it. They just show what's going on, and she's just interpreting it.
No,
she's the one that's, like, saying that.
The subtitles say something along the lines of, the new person has to be the same.
Yeah, but it's just this black market tape. It's not like... This is not some official, like, document. There's literally a website you could go to where she got it from.
Yeah.
And it's just like a black market eBay.
Yeah.
The hand's on there too, but it says it's missing.
Oh God!
Have you not gone to the website?
I hope they didn't sell out of. Wait, are you talking about the Talk to Me hand? No.
Yeah, no. There's the website where Laura got the tape from.
No, I just watched the tape.
Yeah, there's an actual website you could go to. That because I think in the movie on the tape there's a website written, or maybe it's in the corner of the video or something.
Oh yeah, I did notice that.
You can actually go to there, and it's like a black market eBay, and there's all these different items and stuff, and then people like commenting on them and stuff, and the hand's on there, but it says missing. It's just interesting.
I know,
but so most of this isn't like, this is exactly how you're supposed to do it. It's an interpretation.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, we don't really know, but I didn't remember it saying that they had to be like that, but that would make sense.
Yeah.
I also think in the tape it's extra fucked up that it was clearly somebody who had killed themselves.
Right.
Don't bring back people who kill themselves. I mean...
Yeah.
It's not going to make anything better. Don't bring back anybody, but... particularly, I don't see how that's going to be a good thing.
But yeah, but they do establish all these things. So she had to target a blind girl so she needed a blind girl specifically.
Yeah.
I think her having been a social worker and a coworker of Wendy's who was familiar with their case.
They said they worked together like for 20 years.
Yeah, so she would have probably been familiar with their family.
Yeah.
And almost certainly would have targeted them specifically. There was also, the stuff, the way the dad was foaming at the mouth does happen under various deaths.
Yeah, but he also had some sort of red rash. It's like, because the first time I saw this, I didn't realize they said he had cancer. And I was like, how the fuck did he die? Because it looks weird.
Right. And it looks similar to the foaming at the mouth that we see later in the movie with both the tape and I think we see it somewhere else. Point being, yeah, I am very much on team she killed the dad.
Yeah, and ultimately it doesn't matter, but
it doesn't. But it is. But it
just shows how much more fucked up she is.
Right. Like she kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
To try to bring her daughter back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
Well, yeah, and it's also like crazy because she kidnapped her nephew and then disguises him as a foster kid.
She calls him a nephew.
No, that's right. No, she kidnaps somebody else.
Yeah.
Another kid, and then disguises him as the nephew.
Right. And puts this demon or whatever. This part we don't get any details on really at all.
Yeah.
But she basically summons this demon to possess this kid, and this demon can eat a certain amount of flesh from a corpse.
That's actually my biggest problem with the movie. I don't feel like the corpse really looks eaten that much.
A good chunk of her face is
but
gone.
She lets him in there like multiple times. I think she should be munched down way more.
There's only so much flesh you can fit in like a 9-year-old kid.
He's like...
I know.
And they go in there multiple
like
times.
This tall.
Nah, I feel like this thing should be really, really eaten up. It's not. It's a minor thing, but it's my biggest thing at the end when they do show. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
She's not eating that much.
So a lot about this movie disturbed me from like a...
We know the kid is aware the whole time.
Right. But what I was going to say is while a lot of this movie disturbs me from a systemic point of view and like the whole child abuse thing and all of that stuff, the scenes with this kid bring in some balance with just some viscerally disturbing shit.
Yeah.
Like there's one point where the camera cuts to him and he's just chewing on this knife and it's like shattering his teeth and it's slicing his face up.
The whole scene is really disturbing, but it's also like, Andy, why are you handing him food on the tip of a knife when you already know there's something wrong with this kid?
Yes. Like I said, Andy's intentions are good, but he doesn't...
Yeah, he's a teenager.
He's still a 17-year-old kid.
I know, but that is the one thing that is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing there? And then, he's just like...
Oh, God. That part was hard for me to watch even in the theater. That was brutal. Oh, and just the teeth shattering as it's happening, and and then later on him eating the fucking counter.
Yeah, and again you just see his teeth breaking off.
Yeah.
So that's funny. That scene too, and because he keeps looks like he's writing something on the counter. Mm-hmm. And then he gives him a pen and paper, and it took me trying to look it up, which made me feel stupid because he writes bird, and I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean? And it's because it's his last name.
It's Connor Bird.
I know. I feel like it should have been a more distinctly last name because I was like, what does a bird have to do with it? Because I didn't remember his last name was Bird, so I'm just like, what is Bird? But it does indicate that this kid is aware and trying to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is more disturbing than just a demon taking over him and he's not there anymore.
Yeah, and Piper and this kid are going to be fucked up for life.
For sure.
I don't know how Piper will ever trust a human again. Yeah. After this.
People move on, man. Again, I see there's horrible, horrible true crime cases with kids, and it almost seems like the younger things happen to you, the more you're able just to get on with it.
Yeah, but she's 14.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's young enough for that to be the case. I think she's gonna
it's hard to know.
It is. But
watching true crime stuff, usually the victims get over it. Their families are more fucked.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a family.
Nope.
She has no one. Nope. That's really sad.
Yeah.
Because how could you even go into another home?
I imagine you wouldn't really be able to.
Yeah.
Obviously they will put you in one.
Yeah, because you can't have extended family because they most likely would have went for that in the first place.
Right.
Sad.
It is. This is a very tragic movie.
Yeah.
It is a very dark movie.
Apparently, originally, the whole thing went through, the ritual. Uh-huh. She wins completely.
Oh, really?
And test audiences really didn't like it. And then it's funny because in the horror communities, a lot of people don't like that she got away. I think it works fine. It would be really bleak, though, if she just completely does it.
It's
bleak either way.
I don't see how she would be able to.
Why?
I can see her completing the ritual.
Yeah.
I don't see there being a world in which she gets away with it scot-free.
No, because
she's got corpses all over her fucking house.
Yeah.
Like somebody's gonna come looking for Wendy.
Absolutely. But does anyone know that's where she went? No, I think she says something when she's leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. She does follow protocol, and protocol would say that you let your office worker, your coworkers know where you're going. going.
Yeah.
And they will run a check on you if you don't check in at some point.
Yeah. I actually, the first time I saw this too, I thought she killed herself at the end. She was dead.
I think she's just laying there with a corpse.
She is. I thought she got the corpse, went into the pool and drowned herself.
Yeah.
Because it would make sense, right? At this point, all this you went through for nothing.
I'm glad she didn't, though. I know nobody's going to be able to explain what happened there in a realistic fashion. They'll just chalk everything up to being like a psychotic break.
Yeah, I don't know what the laws are in Australia, but in Canada, she would be out. Canada, literally somebody, because they stopped taking their psychiatric meds, their schizophrenic meds, chopped someone's head off on a bus, and he is out walking now.
Ugh.
Because they're like, well, it's not his fault.
Yeah, it's still his fault.
Yeah, you stopped taking your meds. And like, what if he stops taking his meds again? What the fuck are you talking about? He chopped someone's head off. And he didn't just chop that. That is a whole story we're not going to get into, but you can look it up. Look up the guy, Canada, Greyhound bus, decapitation. That guy is out there walking around right now.
Someday when we open up a Patreon for the millions of streaming screamers out there and become big, rich podcasters, we can start a secondary true crime podcast.
No, but
oh, please. You will go absolutely apeshit on that. You will just be educating me on like all this fucked up stuff that I'm not going to want to think about.
Well, to be fair,
because I do like my violence on the screen, not in real life.
Yeah. It is just like, it is not in this situation because it's so extreme, but I do think there's some cases where like untreated mental health shouldn't be treated the exact same as somebody who just goes murder somebody. But there's a line, because there's a line where it's like, well, you're clearly super dangerous.
That is why.
So your mental health is a liability.
That is why criminal wards exist in mental hospitals.
Yeah, well, they're not good.
No, I know. I've been in one. I was not.
The truth comes out.
No, when I was in
some cases it's worse than being in jail.
No, I know. No, when I was in college, I was studying forensic psychology.
Yeah. No, I know this, but
well, I know
they don't.
We're on a podcast. When I was in college, I was studying psychology, and in particular, I had a focus on abnormal psychology and forensic psychology.
Yeah.
And one of my forensic psychology classes took us on a field trip to the criminal ward of a mental hospital.
Yeah.
And it was quite an experience.
Yeah.
I think they didn't let us interact with most of the patients, but there was one guy that they did let us go into this one dude's room, and he was stoked about it because he wanted to show off his art. Yeah, and he was stoked to show off his art, and there was one particularly colorful piece that initially I thought was really pretty. It just looked like this wild abstract rainbow thing, and then I got closer and realized that each color was just an erect penis.
You told me this.
Yeah, and then he was like, yeah, this is one of my favorite pieces. It's called "Your Daughter is Corrupting Our Son," and I'm like, man, do not like this. This makes me very uncomfortable. Yeah. But it was interesting. But it was, we were very limited in where we were allowed to go, very limited in who we were allowed to interact with. Yeah. And it was, it did not seem much better than a prison at all. But yeah, so my point being, though, this is why they do have criminal wards.
Right. I'm just saying, depending on the country, though, like Canada's very loose on if you're determined to be mentally ill at the time of a crime. Yeah. I don't know how Australia is.
I don't know either, but I think that whatever country you're in, and this is a real problem in the US, there needs to be mental health funding. There needs to be robust, well-funded mental hospitals, and they should all include a criminal ward.
Well, probably not all of them.
Well, probably not all of them. And maybe you could open up maybe you could have a separate hospital. But point being, there should be a place where people who are liable to chop someone's head off if they go off their medication can go where it isn't like, torturous mistreatment.
Yeah.
But keep them away from potential victims, keep them under supervision.
Or like somebody has to monitor that you're taking your medication. Yeah.
No, I can't speak for Canada because I don't live there. America is an absolute failure in this regard. It doesn't sound like Canada's doing that much better just based on that one story you're telling me. I have no idea what the deal is.
He wasn't just let out
Australia.
right away, to be fair, but still, he is just out walking around by himself now. He had visitation things first, but still, I'm like, but this all happened because he just stopped taking his meds. Theoretically, he can do that at any time.
Anytime. Yeah.
But so what I was going to say earlier, the other lady's like, oh, I worked with her for 20 years. She's like an excellent social worker.
Yes.
I think that she probably wasn't, and that there probably was fucked up things she was doing beforehand. I find it hard to believe that this woman's daughter died and all of a sudden she knows how to kidnap children and potentially murder somebody just because she has this information.
I think that's wholly possible. And also,
I just, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not...
And people are often willing to turn a blind eye to the actions of their own.
Yeah.
Any signs that she exhibited of being...
I'm not saying she did anything awful like kill people, but I'm saying she probably was doing fucked up shit.
Yeah.
To get what she wanted out of the system.
I mean, okay, so the way that she torments Andy in this is unnecessary.
No, but it's also, that's because of her training and deliberate, that she knows what to do.
Right.
She, when he first goes, takes a picture of them all together, but she's, blocking him, peeing, doing the fake pee thing, because that's just, a big sign.
Yeah.
She also, when she gets them all drunk after the dad's funeral, purposely gets information out of them to know how to fuck with them.
Right.
And that's why she forces them to take a shower, because she knows it's gonna fuck with them. Right.
I know that she's doing this to factor into her plan, but I got the distinct impression that there was a sadistic joy in it. Well,
that's what I'm saying is one tragic event doesn't just make you a psycho.
Right.
I think you were already kind of a psycho. And also, we never really know how her daughter drowned.
No, we don't.
We know she knew how to swim.
Well,
because we see videos of her swimming. She was bleeding, too, when she got pulled out of the pool. So I'm wondering if she accidentally killed her.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
She clearly has a propensity for abuse and cruelty.
Yeah.
That I don't think, this kind of gets into the whole, oh, God, I don't want to bring up fucking Joker on our podcast. Well, because there's the whole thing with the killing joke and the one bad day can turn you into me kind of thing, which was horseshit. Yeah. And it's part of the whole point of the comic is no.
Well, no, but it's similar to when there's been many, 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 many studies that watching horror movies does not make you a violent person. But yes, are some psychos inspired by something they saw in a movie? Absolutely. But they probably would have done something anyways because they were already violent people.
Yeah.
The movie didn't make them violent, but since they are already violent.
Look, here's the deal. I play a lot of first-person shooters, as you know. I'm currently playing Doom the Dark Ages. That game fucking rules.
Yeah, I want to play it.
It's so good. But I, as I mentioned, really like my violence on the screen. Do not like it in real life.
Yeah.
I find real life violence to be incredibly disturbing. From my own personal experience, and this is just my personal experience, the whole argument that horror and violent video games desensitizes you is horseshit. Because man, oh man, if I see anything brutal happen in real life, I'm horrified.
Yeah.
Just legitimately horrified.
Yeah, not even violence, but I've at a bar saw somebody fall and crack their head open.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were still alive. They were so pale so quick and there was blood and that freaked me out.
I saw coming home from work one day, I saw a really bad accident and it was under an overpass and there was blood splatter up the wall. I didn't sleep that night.
I cry when I just pass, there's an accident and there's an ambulance and I don't know what happens sometimes. Because if it looks really bad and there's an ambulance and they're clearly blocking things off, I instantly start tearing up. And I don't even know that person.
Right.
And they could be fine. I don't know. But yes, no. None of this makes me go yeah, death. Yeah. Even doing true crime stuff, I'm not fuck yeah.
Yeah. But so, point being, I play a lot of first-person shooters. I don't have any desire to shoot anybody.
No.
I don't even want to own a gun.
Yeah.
I am fairly anti-gun as a whole.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I won't ever shoot one. Today's political climate, I plan to buy one, which sucks. I don't like that I'm going to do that, but I feel it's a necessity, and that's an argument for another day.
I didn't say anything.
No, I know. But yeah, I feel that is a thing that's going to happen. And it sucks.
Yeah.
Now, is somebody who wants to shoot people probably going to choose first-person shooters as their video game of choice? Very possibly, because they want to shoot people.
Yeah.
And like that is the
Studies have also showed that violent video games actually relieve anxiety, or not anxiety, but anger and angst for most people instead of contributing to it.
Yeah.
It helps you get like frustration out.
Dude,
I don't feel that way when I play games, but I can see why some people would.
no, but you know what makes me feel great when I am furious? When I've got that rage building up and I don't know what to do with it, I put on some death metal.
Sure.
And I crank that shit up to fucking 10.
Yeah.
And
Having an outlet's what's important.
Yeah, you gotta have a release for these things. And like, I understand that the lyrics to your average Cannibal Corpse record are probably pretty disturbing, depending on how seriously you take them. Well, also depending.
Isn't that the guy though, the lead singer that does claw games and then donates it all to charity, like to kids,
to children's hospitals and toy drives?
He's supposed to be known as like one of the nicest guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. George Corpse Grinder Fisher, who has donated more toys to charity than like anybody.
One of the guys from Last Podcast on the Left recently ran into him at a bar.
Oh, really?
And they were like chatting, and I forget what he said, but because they were talking about something that had to do with ice. But he said, the guy from Last Podcast on the Left said something like kind of fucked up, and that guy, George, was like, I gotta go.
Really?
Yes. And he was also, he's like, the fucking Cannibal Corpse guy was disturbed by me.
That is great.
Because I think it's because they're talking about real world stuff.
Yeah. Well,
He's
well,
just
and also
like,
I have read interviews with Corpse Grinder where he is like, yeah, man, our lyrics make me want to puke. You know, but also there were two singers for Cannibal Corpse. Corpse Grinder is the quote new singer, even though he's been with them since the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Their previous singer, Chris Barnes, that guy's lyrics were a lot more fucked up and were not as like fun.
Yeah.
He was more interested in pushing boundaries of what people could stand.
In the 90s, people really wanted to be edgy.
I know. And he did. So
I didn't realize it so much until like now, like looking back, because even like 90s anime is known as being just like really graphic and violent for no reason.
A lot of it is, yeah.
That's why I don't like new anime. Anyways, I think she probably was doing fucked up things beforehand.
Probably.
Not to this extreme, obviously, but I think
she seems like a dark lady to begin with. Oh,
flip.
Yeah. Also, like, obviously, she got that tape off of the dark web and all that, so she has some knowledge and inclination on how to acquire something like that.
Yeah.
I am always curious about the whole like an angel came to me thing, because in one hand I get the impression that she summoned the demon.
Yes.
But
you see it.
Yeah. But she also but she does say like an angel came to me and he showed me this thing. And I'm like,
Because you believe what you want. You have to justify what you're doing.
Yeah. But
people will make.
So the other aspect to this is I do think that she was probably to a much lighter level. I think she was a witch, and I'm specifically referring to like a bad witch beforehand as well.
I don't think so. Because she clearly doesn't know what she's really doing.
She doesn't, but again, she knew where to go to find this information. And while I did not participate in any like ARG or anything myself, I did read up on some of the ARG promotional stuff, which included emails from the person who eventually sold her the tape, that was talking about how she like does tarot readings and other like vaguely real life witchy shit. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was already some like at least minor inclination towards a darker side of that.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I think she might have accidentally killed her daughter. I don't think she did it on purpose, because it's just weird that they show a tape of her daughter swimming in the pool.
Right.
And then when they show flashbacks, you clearly see like blood. And so it's like, well, she didn't just drown.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Right. She got hit somehow. But it could have been just slipping.
Well, it also was a storm. Could have been a branch hitter. Who knows? But it's just the fact that no more details are given and that they showed that, yes, she can swim.
Right.
So I'm like, something else. There's details we're not being given.
Right.
Anyways, great movie. I think people should check it out.
Who specifically would you recommend it for?
I mean, again, you got to be okay with kids stuff, like violence towards children.
You got to.
I know that's a big line for a lot of people.
Not just violence. There's a lot of psychological abuse towards Andy in particular. There's a lot of.
There's body horror.
There is body horror.
Like I said, there's less stuff with teeth. There's skin getting ripped off.
There's a lot of layers to the horror in this.
Yeah.
It is a solid combination of body horror and psychological horror. And the psychological horror is primarily aimed at a kid or multiple kids. I mean, all the horror is aimed at.
Yeah, it's all kids.
All of the horror is actually all aimed at kids. So when you've got multiple layers of this, it can get rough. So if you've got the stomach for that, this movie fucking rules.
You don't mind bleak movies.
Yeah, it is very bleak. If you are in the mood to feel bad, put this movie on.
Yeah,
you'll walk away feeling bad.
Yeah, it's great.
I think all of us horror fans occasionally know exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
I want to watch a movie that's going to make me feel like shit.
Yeah.
Why we do that, I don't know, but I know that I've done it plenty of times. I think that's about to do it for us. Jessica, play us out.
Baby, come back to me. Don't leave me here all alone. Baby, come back to me.